Now this is not where I'd normally like to begin, but the footage for the first half of this video I was just not pleased with, but it's okay, I can get you all caught up. That was one squirt of a L'Oreal Infallible foundation and then one of the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Foundation, which I then dotted all over my face and blended in with a beauty blender. I will then, which is missing in the footage, put a little bit of concealer on the lids of my eyes as a base for my eyeshadow. And the concealer I used is the Trublend from Covergirl. And once I did that, I then took that light purple eyeshadow from the Natasha Denona Tropic Palette and packed it all over my lids. And now you're caught up. The next step that you miss most of is taking a purple eyeliner and lining across the top and bottom lashes and blending out with that same light purple eyeshadow. Okay, I think that's everything you've missed. This look overall is totally inspired, you guessed it, by another Sam Chapman video. I saw her do this look and it, made me want this palette, that one light lilac-y lavender purple eyeshadow made me buy this incredibly expensive palette. Anyways, so that I packed pretty densely over the lid, and now what you're seeing is I am bringing it up and up and up past my crease and my socket towards my brow bone. Because my eyes are a little bit hooded, you won't see the eyeshadow if it's just on the lid, so I wanted to blow it out and go up and then out a little bit at the outer corners. This eyeshadow is really beautiful, but I do recommend using a base with it. It can be a little too sheer and kind of patchy if you don't. And I mean, it's partly the formula being so matte, but also it's just a light pastel color, and those colors usually show up best on a light base. If you have deeper skin, you could even try using a white base, so a white cream or eyeliner first. I did do a bunch of research before eventually buying this palette because this was the one color that really stuck out to me that I couldn't find elsewhere in my collection, and I was not able to find a really good dupe for it. So I did end up getting it during one of the Sephora sales. And it's funny, I mostly use this color from the palette and all the other cool tones, so like the greens and the blues. And there's a lot of kind of warmer neutrals in the palette, but this is what I was going for. I love this color combination. I wore it last summer in honor of the Toronto Raptors winning the NBA championship. Take that. Yeah, team colors. I love the combination of red and purple in makeup. It's just so 70s and disco. I'm also taking a clean blending brush there to go over the edges once I've got the shape of the shadow that I want. Okay, pay attention. This, I think, is my new favorite way of doing my brows. It starts off the way that I often do with the Uemura hard formula pencil to extend the tail and really fill out the end of my brow that's so sparse. And then I'm going to be taking a brow pen. I've been trying to get the kind of Katie Jane Hughes, Sam Chapman brow strokes, like drawn in brow hair look to my brows, and I find it so difficult. I've tried so many different products and techniques, and I think this is the one that works best to use a light pencil underneath as kind of like the initial shape, and then draw in the darker brow hairs using a pen. And for that, I'll use the Ardell Stroke a Brow in the shade Medium Brown. I know that when trying to achieve this type of brow, you should do it before putting any foundation or skincare down, which I know is just a habit you just need to get into, but I find it really difficult because I have a lot of redness around my brows that I like to cover. And I also found the color was just never right with these pens to draw on a full kind of tail of my brow. So this way I feel like it's the best of both worlds. I get the shape with the pencil and then draw in those individual hairs with the kind of darker brow pen. Yes, I'm very happy with how this turned out, and I can't wait to keep trying it. As I mentioned, I get a lot of redness around my brows, so with that same concealer I used as an eyeshadow base and this tiny little lip brush, I'm going to just really lightly conceal around the bottom of my brows to get rid of that redness. Not to like carve out the brows, I don't want to actually touch those hairs that I've just drawn in because it might erase them a little bit, but just to get a little bit of redness that's poking through covered up. Next, I'm gonna put on a little bit of blush before returning to finish the eyes. This is my all-time favorite Sleek Makeup blush in the shade Rose Gold. It's a nice peachy pink shimmer blush. That's going everywhere just to wake my skin up a little bit. And then moving back to the eyes, I think you could absolutely leave the eye right here, but I am going to put some white liner on the inside of my eyes. This is the NYX Jumbo Pencil, and I'm going to rub a bit on my hand and then pick it up with that same lip liner brush. This is just an easier way and more precise way to put some white in the eyes. Sometimes putting the pencil right in my eye can get a little bit messy, and I don't want to disturb the purple eyeshadow on the lower lash line. So that brush works great for that. Giving my lashes a curl, not because I need to right now, but probably because I only just thought of it. Before taking the Kristin Leanne palette from Urban Decay and this beautiful dark purple eyeshadow, and I'm going to start defining my crease. This is going to be kind of a 60s crease, so kind of stark, not exactly a cut crease, but it's not going to be totally blended out, and I'm going to leave a little bit of a gap at the outer lash line, so it's not going to meet up completely with that eyeliner. You'll see what I mean. I'm using a Real Techniques shading brush for this, and firstly kind of stamping lightly along the new crease that I'm drawing in, and then kind of shading and blending back and forth. For this kind of look, a bigger, fluffier brush would be a little messier, and I want this to be a little bit more precise of a line, as you can see there. The best way I found to do this is to look down into a hand mirror, and that's also why you keep seeing me kind of tilting my head back to check out where I'm at. So moving on to the other eye. This eye is always more difficult for me to do crease work on because it's a little bit more open than my right eye. I think it's because when I was a kid, I tried or I succeeded in teaching myself how to raise my eyebrow. Only on that one side though, because I noticed that Gillian Anderson did that on the X-Files. So anyways, now that left eye is more open than the other, and the joke's on me. That same dark purple I'm going to put along the lower lash line to deepen it out. This eyeshadow is really lovely. I don't know who Kristin Leanne is, but I bought her palette on sale, and it's quite nice. Ba-bam! Speaking of the X-Files, this is just a reminder that I'm still social distancing, so haven't really left my house or taken off sweatpants and put on a bra in a long time. That moment was just me realizing that my Tarte Shape Tape Concealer has a beautiful purple top that matches my eye makeup. Okay, so concealing under the eyes, the eyes. With Tarte Shape Tape, which I always prefer to apply very sparingly with my fingers, and then blend out with a little sponge. This is the littlest sponge I've got. This is a Real Techniques mini Miracle Complexion sponge. And when that's blended out, I then just go back in with my eyeshadow to make sure that the concealer hasn't, totally erased the lower lash line. I understand the point of these mini makeup sponges. They are nice, but I find that because they are so small, my hands hurt a little bit if I use them for too long. So I'm happy to just use a bigger sponge under my eyes, but they are cute. Now, because of the combination of foundations I used and this Tarte Shape Tape being kind of self-setting, I'm not going to use any powder, even under the eyes. It'll kind of set itself. And the combination of foundations that I mentioned, I'm actually really happy with how it looks. It's kind of a longer wearing foundation, so the L'Oreal Infallible and the Armani foundation, which is more luminous. I think it's a great combination. Not too shiny, not too matte, sets itself. Chef's kiss. Okay, so I touched up my white eyeliner, and now highlighter. This is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Amrezy. I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce her name, but she made a really kick-ass highlighter with Anastasia. This highlighter is really beautiful. I find for a powder highlighter, it really gives a nice wet look to the skin without ever looking too dry. It's lovely. Okay, for mascara, I'm using the Maybelline Snap Mascara, which is fine. I mean, the point of it is that it's supposed to be easy to remove but stay on well. Great sentence, Peta. Yeah, it stays on well but is easy to remove, which to me just means it's a tubing mascara, which I do like because I don't love the feel of waterproof mascara, but my eye area is quite moist at times, and so my mascara runs pretty easily. But it is not that dark, and it doesn't really give you any volume. So I think it's perfectly fine for this look, but I usually like something a bit more thickening. This is mostly just for definition and length, and then it does come off fairly easily. Final step for my eyes is a little bit of brow gel to really make my eyebrows look as bushy as possible. This is the e.l.f. Wow Brow in the shade Medium Brown, and I'm really, really enjoying it. Great product. And then we'll finish with some lips. I'm going to be using this Revlon Ultra HD lipstick in the shade Dahlia. And I'm gonna once again exercise restraint and just lightly dab my lipstick all over the mouth and work it in as much as possible for a beautiful sheer wash of red. This is not unlike the sheer wash of color I did on my yellow eyeshadow video. It's kind of the same deal here. Like, I want the focus to be the eyes, I want them to be really bright, and then the lips to just, you know, complement each other color-wise, but not be too full on. And I'm then taking this Sonia Kashuk brush and going back and forth and really, really working that lipstick in until I get it to the desired effect. Nice and blurry. And there she is. So this is, like I was mentioning before, red and purple, great color combination, but pastels, subdued, sheer washes. These are all makeup terms which are honestly kind of new to me, but I've been enjoying them. And now I feel like the most beautiful Easter egg. I hope everyone has a good long weekend and is able to pick up some discounted mini eggs next week. I know that's where I'll be. Please, if you haven't already, take a chance to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel, and we'll talk to you again soon. Thanks so much.